welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we like to begin for you to state your name.
So I'm Kiazi Malonga. I am musical director for the Congo. I'm a recording artist based here in Oakland, California, specializing in the culture and traditions of the Congo. I also am on the board with World Arts West. I have been a participant in the Grants Cohort program, as well as a performer on the stage at Ethnic Dance Festival throughout my career as an artist.
I know you've been part of World Arts West performance programs for a long time, for about 40 years. Our Indian festival is called the Ethnic Dance Festival. We've been evolving the name to be a little bit more inclusive. It is now called the World Arts West Dance Festival. Can you tell me a little bit about your association with performances at World Arts West, starting
when it began, right? Yeah, interesting way that I was, I guess, first introduced. I will say through legacy, through the work of my father, Malonga Kaskulur. I was a toddler at the time. I think for that Congo's first performance in the festival was the year I was born. So I'd say that as a performer, probably like late 80s, maybe late 80s was when I first shared the stage with Fada Congo to participate as a performing group in what was then Ethnic Dance Festival.
I want to ask you about a recent role, leadership role you played in our festival. Last year's festival, the 2022 World Arts West Dances of the Park, we actually started the festival with you leading contingent about 100 artists in a procession, and that idea began with sort of Africans Are Coming. So can 100%. You tell me a little bit about how that came about and what it was like to be opening the festival?
It was an amazing feeling. That procession, like you mentioned, came from Africans Are Coming. And so though that was a festival that happened from the, I'd say, early 80s right to around the mid 90s, showcased many of the African and African diaspora groups in the Bay Area. And the way that festival would start was all of the artists together, joining together with a unified song, all of the multitude of different instruments. I don't want to call it a jam session. I feel like jam session doesn't give it the spiritual heaviness that it had. But I borrowed from that concept, and we kind of talked about starting the festival in that way, and just it gives the artists an opportunity to work together, to collaborate. Everybody coming to the festival, whether 8 or 10 groups, there isn't much opportunity to interact. And so this provided, even though it was short and sweet, an opportunity for us to collaborate around one piece, to unify and open up the festival and to present to the audience as a unified front. And so I think that in itself was a very, very warm and powerful experience. I had a bunch of conversations and interactions as a result of that collaboration with artists that I would not have had. We all got together, however many, 80, 100 people that it was. We did this procession. There was interaction, movement, music, and then we opened up the festival. I think that really set the stage for a beautiful performance that happened.
Thank you for leading us that day. And indeed, it was our first live performance program since the beginning of the pandemic. So to me, having the artist procession was a great statement, great opening. And I could not think of anyone else for that leadership position.
Thank you.